Hi, my name is Simrat Sinsinwar. I have recently been admitted to RML Hospital for my M.Phil in Clinical Psychology. I have done my undergraduation from Lady Shriram College, Delhi University. I did psychology and political science from there. And after that, I joined the Tata Institute of Social Sciences for my master's in applied psychology with specialization in clinical psychology. So this was in TIS Mumbai, and I spent 2 years there. And then in that, I had some clinical exposure, and that's where my passion for clinical psychology really came forth. While I was preparing, I knew that I read about a lot of students from UPS education as well, and I thought, okay, there must be something that they would be offering which sets the students apart. So I went ahead and I did enroll there, and I had access to so the material was sent at home, and I really appreciated that. However, I used more of the mock tests because that's completely lacking in the space. We underestimate how much information is there out in the internet, but there's not structure, and especially for M.Phil Clinical Psychology, it's really difficult to get that content, and the mock tests and the exposure to the testing environment in the website is very real to what the CBT mode is in different exams. So there's also this M.Phil book that I had gotten because I think that's the fill in the blanks one, and it was something that kept on coming in my eyes, and I said, okay, I might as well give this a try. So I had gone through that entire thing, and it's really helpful, and I felt that, okay, if this is the content that UPS is giving out, and it seems to be really helpful for me, I would want to get more of an idea of what is the system, and especially the mock test series and the self-assessment practice tests. All of those were instrumental in tracking my progress, because we have so many competitive exams in this country, and it's very normal to seek coaching for that, or some assistance for that. It's very normalized. I know so many of my medical friends who constantly are on some support or the other. But for clinical psychology, I think there's some sort of mystical aspect of how do you crack it, what's the syllabus and all of those things. So I feel UPS is doing a great job, and I'm grateful for it, because it made something that's inaccessible quite accessible and achievable as well. So I would say that the mock test series was a game changer for me, and I have done all of them. and also after 6 months, there was also a point where it discontinued for some time, but the team was so helpful. I think there was some technical glitch, or it gets extended, and I also really appreciate the technical support at that time, because those were very, very critical months for me to make it through. So when I had access to that, I could actually complete all the mock tests as well. So with regards to the study material, that's something that I started with. However, there was a lot of information process, and sometimes I think books just discourage us from starting at a point. So I felt like I went a little backwards. I went to the e-learning platform first, where I had the self-assessment, the practice tests, and the mock tests. So I didn't give mock tests until I completed all my self-assessments, because I wanted to know realistically where I'm standing, what are the units that I'm weak in, and it's very transparent. They have a ranking system as well. They'll show you where you are, what's your percentile, which area you're lacking in, and also there's negative marking, so you will have an idea before going for an exam. Okay, there's no mysterious aspect of what will negative marking look like. You will practice it, and then it'll just become it'll become your automatic response. I think this is what we study in psychology as well, like the social inhibition and facilitation. So once you have exposed yourself to such an environment, it really facilitates rather than inhibits your performance on the day of that examination. So yes, and the material is great. I have it. It's going to be in my treasure trove. It's something that I would cherish, and I would look back on, because I'm sure there's more studies ahead of me, and that's something that exists with me physically. So I appreciate that. As well as all the mock tests. I keep going on about it, but I don't think I can stress the importance of it enough. So that's something, and I think so once you also give, just to for an idea, if somebody's watching this and they don't really know what the interface is like, it's really nice, because you can also then check all your previous performances and see which MCQs you got wrong and which area you were lacking in, and then just go and remediate for that as well. And plus, they're explanations for the questions, or mostly all the questions have explanations as to why that option has been chosen. So I think those are intricacies, because you can give random quiz, like quizzes or something like that, and you won't get that assessment. You have to Google, and that effort just keeps on discouraging you from making progress, I think. So once it's been streamlined, and I think UPS is really good with that, streamlining all that technology, all that information in one stream, it helps you focus and study better. My interaction with sir has been very fruitful, because it was really kind and very encouraging before an interview to hear the tips and all the pointers to keep in mind before the interview. I think that really helped me. I also went to the CIP interview, so that time sir had given us all the list of things that you should be mindful about, and testing that you should understand, and all of that. So that really helped. I think that really raised my confidence as well. Plus the exposure, in going for these interviews, we really have to work through that anxiety. So it really helps to be mentally prepared, and sir really took us through that personally, in the video calls that used to happen, on the Zoom platform. So that was really good. That has been, my experience with sir, and that's been really helpful.